Okay, quick beginner guide about springs. AEG springs, yeah, well, come in a lot of flavors, like short ones, long ones, non-liner ones, straight ones, thick ones, whatever. And they come with some kind of energy rating, which means the spring is called M120 spring or M130 spring, and the M stands for meters, and this means the spring should make 120 meters per second. But we are missing a little bit of information at this point, cause we don't know which BB weight, we don't know which gun, we don't know how long the barrel is, how good the air seal is, and all this stuff. Which means this rating is just crappy. And also, there is no D norm on these things. Which means, well, if I got a certain brand, I may get an M120 spring that gives me decent 1.5 joules. No, this is shitty for an M120 spring, but maybe it gives me 1.5 joules. And then I buy another brand and try this out and I get more energy. Cause the spring is just stronger from another brand. Probably this cause there is just no standard. So, well, what to say now? We can't rely on anything here. We can say, okay, I will just change out between a lot of springs and try the best one working for me. And this is probably the way. Every tech guy has like a box of old springs and one brand of springs he is using and knows how much power one of them will give him with a decent sealed system. But yeah, if you want to know it roughly, I just said 120 spring, 1.5 joules. This is the absolutely lower end here. So, if anyhow possible, an in 120 spring should give you more than 1.5 joules. If it doesn't, maybe your barrel is extremely short or your hop is set too much and stuff. There are a ton of factors. But if a normal gun, normal settings, gives you less than 1.5 joules, the air seal is probably bad. Just shove in 140, maybe a bad idea, cause your battery consumption goes up, your motor has to work more, the gun gets louder, and probably the air seal is bad anyway, and you get just 1.6 joules after that. And it's not worth it. So you have to find your local tech guy and let him fix this shit for you. But yeah, roughly 1.5 to 2 joules should be possible with an M120 spring. And of course there are shitty springs from shitty brands, and there are two kinds of shitty here. Kind number one is energy is too low for the spring's rating, and possibility number two is they just go up one level, like their 120 spring is like an 130 from most other brands. So they said, hey, if we rate these a little lower, people will think, hey, with This spring from this brand I get very nice FPS, and this is something the spring is responsible for. Yeah, kind of, but you could have just used a stronger spring from the spring is just strong. There is no there is no magic in it. So yeah, if your M130 gives you the same energy than an M120 from another brand, that's probably cause they adjust the same strength, and the M100 whatever is just worth nothing. Anyway, if possible, don't go over M140 springs in most guns, cause a lot of gearbox shells won't take this kind of pressure very well. For tuned replicas, for short stroke replicas, all this is a completely other subject, and it would take a lot of time to explain. But yeah, there is no standard in springs. This is what you should get from this video. You can't rely on what's on there. Just buy one brand, buy 5 types. These things are cheap as fuck, and if not, just don't buy that brand. Springs are springs. If they have a decent steel, everything's fine. You won't wear out a spring, not really. And if you do, okay, maybe you are very unlucky, but most of the springs on the market, even if they go for like $3, they are quite fine for a few 100,000 shots. Alright, have a nice day. I hope I helped you out a little bit.